Students were selected from each center to share their experiences in their programs and how their choices have helped them in their life's journey. At this time, Samaya Hopkins, a practical nursing student from the Aislynn at Highland Springs, will introduce our student speakers.
Thank you, Ms. Osbrooks. It is a pleasure to introduce my classmate, Maya Criss, an A Center at Highland Springs student. Maya has completed the Cosmetology program.
Thank you, Samaya. Greetings. Wow. So you mean to tell me that not only did I have to attend high school and endure all of its good and bad and happy and sad, but that I signed up to do the same thing at another school for almost half of the day? You all do know that that's 180 days attending 2 schools. But I wouldn't change anything about it. During my freshman and sophomore years, I attended the Center for Communications. I had to choose between the center and cosmetology. I decided to follow my passion. I knew by doing so, I would put more energy into learning, studying, and exploring the endless possibilities only cosmetology could offer me. I have never regretted my decision. Cosmetology is not just about hair. Try science, anatomy, communications, business, and professionalism. My teachers went above and beyond to make sure we learned the basics so that we could pass our state board exam. My experience at the A Center was a complete surprise. I made friends whom I would later identify with their sisters. Those girls and my teachers, Miss Williams, AKA Mama Williams, and Miss Childress, AKA Auntie Juju. Julie is her first name. I'm sorry, Miss Childress, whoever you are. Were the only reasons I did not quit. I lost my best friend, Latifah, during my senior year. And honestly, that made me want to give up on everything. But Latifah always encouraged me to push past my fears to achieve my goals. Not only am I ready for the real world, I'm ready to expand my natural and holistic hair care product line called Benu. Thank you, y'all. I plan to attend a 2-year college, then transfer to VCU to start medical school. My goal is to be a cosmetic surgeon. I want to thank my family and friends who have helped me on this journey. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2018.
Dylan Barth is a student at the A Center at Hermitage. Dylan has completed the computer-aided drafting program.
Thank you, Samaya. I'm proud of you. Do what you love. Make a difference. Keep those grades up. Those are all things you have heard in the days, months, and even years prior to this day, and yet all those things may be true. I'm not here to say it one more time, but I'm here to say you made it. Not just to June 11th in this ceremony, but made it through all of the hours and hours of work you have put into your A Center. You have made it through the long lectures given by your teacher that seem to last forever. You have made it through the boring bus rides, which for me, over my 2 years of being here, have taken over 10,000 minutes, or almost 7 days, that I'll never get back. You have made it through the fire drills, the signal blues, and worst of all, the earthquake drills that still give me back pain whenever I think about them. But overall, you made it through the A Center at Hermitage, a school that I will never forget. And I hope that none of you will forget the memories, experiences, friendships, and skills this school has armed you with from day one that will help you through the rest of your life. Now let me back up a little bit and introduce myself. My name is Barth, and I'm a student from the ACE Center at Herm. And next year I plan to attend George Mason University in the field of engineering. Thank you. For the past 2 years, I was enrolled in the AutoCAD and 3D animation class with Ms. Grice. But the AutoCAD and 3D animation skills I learned cannot compare to the abilities I have honed through the opportunities and experiences this ACE Center has provided me. Through this center, I was able to build a foundation of leadership skills as a vice president in Skills USA. I was able to get a better understanding of the design process through the FIRST robotics team. I learned the importance of altruism and giving back to others through the Tech Ethics Society. And I was given the opportunity to be the National Technical Honor Society president, where I learned how hard work really pays off. None of these things would have been possible at my home school, and I have this school to thank for this newfound knowledge. Even though I've learned a lot in this school, I know each and every one of you has taken something different from here. And now, I turn it over to you to utilize all of these talents, but not just at any old job down the road, but somewhere in Time magazine. Maybe I'll witness you speak to millions on a TED Talk, or even see you on TV doing something astounding. I wish you all luck in the years to come, and I want you all to remember your roots from the ACE Center and realize your expertise in whatever you become started here. Stay positive, stay determined, and know that nothing can prevent you from attaining success. Godspeed.
Aislynn Sellars, a student at the ACE Center at Highland Springs. Aislynn has completed the electricity program.
Thank you, Samaya. All right, I'm short. Thank you, Samaya. What is the definition of a career exactly? Is it an occupation undertaken for a significant period of time in a person's life for opportunities for progress? The ACE Center at Highland Springs taught me the physical and ultimate meaning of a career, proving what I want to do with my life and providing a way of living for the rest of my life. My name is a big part of my life. Aislynn means inspiration in Gaelic, which is the Irish language. I knew that one day I would be someone's inspiration and someone would be mine. Mr. Harrison and Mr. Benaz helped me learn which college path I should take to pursue my dream career. With the assistance of these two great teachers, I accepted an academic scholarship to Randolph-Macon College in Ashland, Virginia, to pursue a degree in environmental, biological studies, and women's studies. With the help of all the teachers, my NJRTC unit, the ACE Center at Highland Springs, and Henrico County Public Schools, 12 years of hard work has finally paid off. Being a teenager is hard. Personally, I have been through some of the hardest things a teenager can go through, like breakups, death of a close friend, and moving to a new city. I find inspiration in Carrie Underwood's lyrics. I am unbreakable and I am born to win. I want to personally thank my family and all of my friends. You helped me get through high school. We did it, ladies and gentlemen, and here's to the class of 2018. Thank you for letting me take this time to share my experience with you.
Alysha Chandler, a student at the ACE Center at Hermitage in Glen Island High School, has completed the Cosmetology program.
Thank you, Samaya. Good evening, family, friends, ACE Center staff, and fellow graduates. My name is Alysha Chandler, and I am proud to officially be a graduate of the 2018 Cosmetology class at the ACE Center at Hermitage. It is such a pleasure to be a part of this celebration and to share with you all my journey as a student at the ACE Center. I would also like to leave with my fellow graduates a few encouraging words as we close this chapter of our life stories to begin thrilling new chapters. In 2015, when I was eligible to apply for the A Center, my first choice was culinary arts because I'm a foodaholic, and my second choice was cosmetology because it's a field that I've always been interested in. So I ended up going with that gut feeling that doesn't really exist and chose cosmetology. My cosmetology class was certainly one of the highlights of my junior and senior year. After attending the A Center every day, my classmates became my family. Those girls don't know how much I appreciate and will miss them. We struggled together, laughed together, got in trouble together, celebrated together, and we succeeded together. Each one of us recently passed our state boards and will be receiving our licenses within a couple of months. To my spectacular teachers, Mrs. Cogan and Mrs. DeJarnette, thank you for not only putting up with us, but for teaching us everything we need to know to be successful cosmetologists. And I can't forget about my two trustworthy friends, Google and Quizlet, who have contributed in getting me to this point. Additionally, this year, I have had the honor of being selected as a member of the Principal's Action Committee. This is a wonderful committee where a few bright students of the A Center come together to share ideas of ways to make the school environment better. We organize numerous fundraising activities, community service projects, and a fun spirit week. I have enjoyed every minute of this committee. As for my future plans after high school, I will be a biology major at the prestigious Old Dominion University this fall. Yes. I desire to achieve my educational and professional goals to become a doctor, specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. And I know what you're thinking right now, why did she take cosmetology if she wants to be a doctor? Well, throughout college, I plan to utilize my cosmetology license and the skills I've learned to earn some extra money. And I believe I will flourish in anything and everything I choose to do because of the many opportunities that the A Center has afforded me. And a big thank you to Mrs. Allsbrooks and Mrs. Bishop and Mr. Hurley for an awesome 2 years at the A Center. In closing, I would like to share this quote from Nora Ephron to my graduating classmates. Your education is a dress rehearsal for a life that is yours to lead. So whether you're going into the medical field, legal field, or whatever it may be, don't forget to believe in yourself and follow your dreams and goals. I wish you all the best and may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you to each of our student speakers for their inspiring words. Our guest speaker this evening is Delegate John McGuire. Delegate McGuire was born and raised in Henrico County, where he graduated from Henrico High School. After graduation, he served in the U.S. Navy as a Navy SEAL. Upon returning to Henrico, he founded SEAL Team PT, Incorporated. His fitness company helps train Division I athletes and corporations across the world. He is passionate about teamwork and using those skills throughout all facets of life. Delegate McGuire.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? Hey, before we get started, there are many ways to serve, and I'm just curious if we have any military, any veterans, any law enforcement or first responders in the audience. Can you guys stand up just for a second so we can see who you guys are? Let's give those guys. I don't think we can say it enough. Thank you for keeping us safe. But as you know, there are many ways to serve. And I also want to thank the parents in the audience again, and our elected officials and teachers and staff for helping prepare our young people for life. Let's give them another round of applause. Congratulations to those completing your training today. I want you to remember where you came from. Nothing great has ever been done alone, and my whole life has been about teamwork and leadership. You know, life is tough, you're gonna face adversity, but life is still awesome, and you should all know when you fall down in life, what do? Whenever I'm mentoring a young person or even a not so young person, what I tell them is don't let the world put limits on you, and don't put limits on yourself. We can all do more than we think, especially when we believe in ourselves and we work as a team. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and that it might inspire you to improve or have a better life or a better story yourself. When I was 5 years old, my mother abandoned me. I ended up in foster homes and attended 9 different elementary schools. And I probably shouldn't joke about it, but it's debatable I turned out okay. But the point is you decide where you go, not somebody else. But I'll tell you, you're not alone, and you can do much more as a team. My grandfather, who fought in World War II, rescued me from foster homes, and I ended up graduating Henrico High School. I remember people saying there was a group of guys, you have a better chance of becoming President of the United States than becoming a Navy SEAL. Back then they had a movie called Top Gun, and I said, no, I'd rather fly airplanes. But I heard about SEALs, and they said, toughest men alive, you got a better chance of being president, and oh, by the way, you're too small. Again, someone trying to tell me, when someone tells me I can't do something, what it really means to me is, oh, maybe you can't do it. And I want you guys to think of that, because one of the most valuable things you can give your children is confidence and belief in themselves. Typically 200 men per SEAL class, usually 20 graduate. One class graduated 0 out of 200. Does anybody understand why 0 out of 200 graduated? I'll tell you, it's because we have a set of standards. But I will tell you this, if any woman with 2 arms and 2 legs can do it, so can you. The only thing that's going to stop you from getting your dreams is you. You guys need to set goals and put that goal above your head like a North Star. And every day you open your locker or you look at your keychain where you might put your goals, if you see your goals 3-4 times a day and you mean it, because you know some people say they want to win and some people mean it. But if you mean it, you will make decisions that will get you closer to your goal, not further from your goal. So I get through Navy SEAL training, and the guy who was too small, I became the youngest sniper in Navy SEAL history. And listen up, that doesn't make me better than anyone. I can tell you about some men and women in uniform that have done way more than me. And I can even tell you about some young men and women who never went in the military. But again, remember what I said, there are many ways to serve. I got out of the Navy, started a business called SEAL Team PT. We had 5 people in the first class. My SEAL brothers and family and friends said, it'll never work. And now it's the largest outdoor fitness class in the world. And in the last 6 months, we trained leadership at Amazon and professors at MIT on leadership. Not bad for Henrico High School. But I got to tell you this story. About a year ago, my youngest son, I was so inspired, he's about to go into his 2nd year at the University of Kentucky. And by the way, I don't know if this will be funny, but we have 5 children. My wife and I have 5 beautiful children. And she says I'm number 6. But you guys, when we say you're our future, you really are, and you're the best part of life. And it really is an honor and a privilege to be here. But when he graduated, I was so inspired, and my oldest son went into the United States Navy. And he's been doing scuba dive and explosive training. I must not have scared him enough. And I'm just so inspired as him. I was looking for a way to serve again. And part of being a leader and part of service is sacrifice. And I decided to run for office. And my SEAL brothers said, have you lost your mind? Politicians just bicker and argue and they never get anything done. But I'm here to tell you that if you can bring people together, because I think a good leader brings people together. We talked about teamwork. Again, it's not what you look like, it's what you fight like. And I had a Navy SEAL once tell me, I'd rather have 5 people with a good attitude that want to be here than 50 people on the team that don't have a good attitude and don't want to be here. Does that make sense? So as you guys become leaders in society, your people are your most important investment. Anyway, I decided to run for office, and they said, again, trying to put limits on me, said, you have no experience, you don't know what you're doing. And we had one of the largest wins in Virginia in November because we brought people together. You know, I think if we focus on our differences, we fail. But if we focus on what makes us strong, we win. And we've got some things done, they said in the General Assembly couldn't be done in 15 years. But we, not me, got it done. So as an elected official, a few months ago, I was at Hermitage High School, and I got to tell you this story. I was standing around 4 or 5 teachers, and I was telling a story back in high school. There was this one particular teacher who looked like one of us. He was one of the youngest teachers in Henrico County, at Henrico High School. He looked like a student. And he taught me to take a piece of plexiglass board covered in copper and put electrical tape in it and dip it in etchant acid and pull it out and make your own circuit board and solder in transistors, resistors, capacitors, and tune your AM radio from scratch. And I'm telling this story, and then I went off to become a Navy SEAL, and that ability from Henrico High School, and similar to what you guys are learning in your professions, helped me be one of the best with what I had to do in the military. In fact, in some of our electronics training, they would give me something called an academic week off. That means I got a week off because the class had to catch up with my knowledge in electronics. And I got to tell you about it. So I was standing around 6 or so teachers, and I was telling this story, and I said the teacher's name was Mr. Mac Baton, and he doesn't look so young anymore. But he goes like this. He goes, "I'm right here." So come on up here, sir. Where are you, Mr.? Is Mr. Mac Baton? Come on up here, sir. Let's give this gentleman a round of applause. I'm sure he's had an impact on you guys being the director of CTE, but I got to tell you, it is, don't forget the folks that got you here, and don't forget what it took to get you here. That same thing will help you be successful in life. Remember, if you fall down, what do? And you got to keep it positive. In the Navy SEALs, we say something, hoo-yah, because we know that someone with a negative attitude will bring down the team. So let's try that. Everybody say who. Everybody say yah. Everybody say hoo-yah. And that should remind you to keep it positive. Life is tough, but it's still awesome. And when you fall down, what do? I can't wait to hear about how you are making the world better. Thank you for having me here tonight.